This is KVUE News Daybreak.
President Trump's expected to get yet another foreign policy test this weekend. I'm Maggie Rulli, and we'll have the latest from Washington coming up.
How about a live look at I-35 on this Friday morning? One of the busiest highways in the state of Texas, but this morning, growing outrage why we could soon have tolls on the interstate. And it's no secret Austin is growing. What City Council agreed to last night that's expected to help combat Austin's housing crunch. Good Friday morning to you, and thank you for joining us for Daybreak. It is now 4:30. I'm Brian Mays. Let's begin with a look at what we're tracking for this Good Friday with meteorologist Erica Lopez.
Hey there, Brian. Well, I think a good forecast is in store for this Good Friday. Current conditions right now downtown, not too bad. We are keeping an eye on some patchy fog that could develop later this morning. As far as temperatures go, though, mid-60s out there. Cloud coverage will still be an issue, but I think we will have some more peaks of sunshine than what we've seen the last few days across our viewing area. Here's a look at your current visibility right now. 4 miles in Giddings, but Austin, we're in the clear as we speak. Here's a look at your hour-by-hour forecast, warming up just under the 80-degree mark. Yesterday, we topped out at 82 degrees for the Austin metro area. I think we'll hang around that 80-degree mark for this afternoon, though. Brian, back to you.
Erica, thank you. We're wrapping up a week of foreign policy action for President Donald Trump. A week ago, the president ordered the missile strike on Syria. The Secretary of State held tense meetings in Moscow just a couple of days ago. And now word, the United States dropped a massive bomb in Afghanistan. But as Maggie Rulli reports, all eyes are now on North Korea.
It's President Trump's latest foreign policy threat, dealing with the fallout from an expected nuclear weapons test in North Korea, which could occur as soon as this weekend.
North Korea is a problem. The problem will be taken care of.
North Korea's got to change its behavior.
The time for action is now.
America's top military leaders say North Korea's increasing pace of missile tests in the past 6 months have made the situation urgent. According to monitors, the latest satellite images show a North Korean nuclear test site primed and ready for a launch. We're expecting it Saturday as the nation prepares to celebrate the anniversary of the birth of the nation's founder, their eternal president. The U.S. is countering with a show of military strength, moving an aircraft carrier strike group into position near North Korea. And in what may have been a not-so-subtle warning to the Hermit Kingdom, the use of this massive 22,000-pound bomb, nicknamed the mother of all bombs. It's the biggest non-nuclear weapon ever used in combat by the United States. On Thursday, the U.S. dropped it on eastern Afghanistan, targeting an ISIS cave complex.
This was another very, very successful mission.
A Pentagon official tells ABC News it was the right weapon, the right target, and the desired effect. Experts say there may have been a secondary effect, sending a signal to America's enemies.
The message to them is that no matter how much you hide, no matter how deep you dig, we can still get you.
In a response, North Korea's vice foreign minister blames the United States for making things more complicated and says Washington has become, quote, more vicious and more aggressive since President Trump took power. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Washington.
President Donald Trump taking steps to block funding to Planned Parenthood and other abortion providers. He signed a bill that would no longer require states to distribute federal dollars for family planning services to health providers, whether they perform abortions or not. The White House says it wants states to decide what's best. Critics are calling the move an attack on women. Texas lawmakers working to take on the federal government. Yesterday, the House Committee on State and Federal Power and Responsibility discussed 4 bills related to a convention of states. Here's what that means. If 34 states decide to band together, they can add amendments to the Constitution. The goal would be amendments that would require Congress to pass a balanced budget, create term limits for members of Congress, and limit the power and jurisdiction of the federal government. Opponents say it could send the country down a slippery slope.
The original thing that created our Constitution was done in a vacuum with very highly intelligent people who were not necessarily politically motivated, but motivated by from a sense of duty.
Again, it will take 34 states signing on to call a convention. Only 8 are on board so far. The House committee considering legislation that would authorize up to 18 toll projects across the state, including toll lanes on Interstate 35. They discussed the bill during a hearing Wednesday. According to our partners at the Statesman, the bill would authorize TxDOT to build toll lanes on Interstate 35 from 1431 in Round Rock to Texas 45 southeast near Buda. The bill would allow regional toll agencies to do a dozen or more projects. That list includes proposed tollways on US 290 in Oak Hill and South Mopac. The bill left pending in committee now. It likely won't be voted on for at least the next week. Busy night for Austin City Council last night. Members approved multiple plans that could bring even more people to Austin. Last night, council members approved strategic housing plan. According to our partners at the Statesman, the document calls for constructing another 135,000 housing units in the city by the year 2025. The plan, now called the Strategic Housing Blueprint, offers more than 50 suggestions to help combat Austin's housing crunch. That includes calls to revamp the city's permitting process and purchasing unused land to preserve it for affordable housing projects. As you know, more people are moving here to Austin every day. Travis County expected to add about 500,000 people by the year 2050, growing from 1.1 million in 2013 to nearly 1.6 million that year. City Council is forcing dozens of East Austinites to relocate due to poor conditions of their apartments. A report found many repairs are needed at the apartments on East 52nd Street, and they haven't been made. It says the building's owner, Walter Olnick, has not complied with warnings and notices of violations. So the city's suing him for continuing to rent the apartments. We talked to the owner. He says he does keep up with repairs and believes this is the city's way of claiming this property is their own. Olnick told us he'll be in court today, taking on the city. If nothing changes, tenants will be moved and their rent subsidized to match what they are currently paying. The council has voted to spend up to $600,000 to relocate all these residents. Williamson County Sheriff taking a unique approach to solving a heartbreaking cold case. Rachel Cook, last seen 15 years ago when she went for a jog near her parents' home in Georgetown. Sheriff Robert Chody in Williamson County is determined to solve this case, along with about 10 other unsolved and missing persons cases. He's assembling a team of retired homicide investigators to try and figure out the truth and bring peace to the families who've waited years for answers. Cook's mother hopes this unique approach will help solve her daughter's case.
I get up with it and I go to bed with it. I even dream about it.
They deserve some type of answer that allows them to believe that we haven't given up, and that's what I'm trying to do.
The members of this investigative team will actually work on a volunteer basis. Instead of a salary, they'll serve as reservists. UT at Austin police officers soon will wear body cameras on their uniforms. The body cams will look like the ones you see here. They'll be worn by officers recording interactions with the goal of building trust and reassuring the public that the UT campus is safe. In criminal cases, the recordings will be considered evidence and could be used in court. The attorney for an Austin man shot by several officers questioning why the encounter was not caught on camera. Last week, 4 Austin police officers shot Lawrence Parrish several times after responding to a disturbance call about a man with a gun. Police said Parrish shot first, but later the chief said Parrish never fired a gun. The chief says dash camera video does not capture the shooting. And now Parrish's lawyer questions why there isn't more video evidence.
If you're on a crime scene, a supposed crime scene for several hours, why would you choose to have no video surveillance, no video coverage, not one camera pointed at this doorway where you know that that's where something might happen?
Parrish is still recovering in the hospital. A Fort Worth man accused of stealing almost a dozen city parking meters now behind bars, a crime that's been plaguing the city for more than a month now. On Wednesday, police arrested this man, Anthony Downs, after they spotted him trying to steal parking meter heads. At first, he denied being involved, but he soon admitted he's one of the thieves. Says lots of homeless people like himself are targeting these meters for money so they can eat and survive on the streets.
No, I'm not the only ones out there doing it. There's other people that's trying to do it too, that's homeless, that's got to survive somehow.
Now, replacing the meters could cost up to $800 apiece, according to one vendor. Downs is being held on charges of evading arrest and providing false information. Swimmers planning to take a dip in Barton Springs Pool will need to reschedule this weekend. It'll be closed because of recent flooding from heavy rains. Deep Eddy Pool will open at 6 a.m. to accommodate swimmers while Barton Springs is closed. No word yet on when Barton Springs will reopen. It is time once again for a check of our forecast. A lot of people want to know what's Easter weekend going to be like, Erica.
Well, Brian, I think it's looking pretty nice as of now. The good news is that we'll have a little bit more sunshine in our forecast and a very, very slim chance of maybe an isolated shower that could pass through your weekend. But other than that, temperatures right now, it is on the warmer side. A lot of humidity out there, so we're still tracking some muggy conditions. Also, patchy fog could be an issue as you're heading out the door this morning. Keeping a close eye on our eastern counties right now. Check out Giddings, just about half a mile. We need a quarter of a mile or less for any dense fog advisories to be issued, so I'll keep a close eye on that. As of now, this is what your rush hour forecast looks like. Yellow light for the morning because of patchy fog, but then a partly cloudy afternoon will allow our daytime high temperatures to be in the 80s for the majority of the region. Here's a look at your weekend forecast. Partly cloudy for Saturday. I think Saturday is going to be perfect. Sunday, only a 20% chance of an isolated shower. I don't think it will affect your guys' plans at all for Easter Day. Just keep in mind it'll be slightly warm and slightly muggy for those outdoor Easter egg hunts. Brian, back to you.
Erica, thank you. You can get your groove on and help out the Capital Area Food Bank this weekend. The Austin Reggae Festival starts today, goes through Sunday at Auditorium Shores. You can hand them some cash or bring a canned food item to the park to help out. A portion of the proceeds will go to the food bank. Last year, Reggae Fest raised over 330,000 meals for Central Texans facing hunger. As sex assault crimes continue on college campuses and elsewhere, one group stepping up to help. Now the UT students are helping survivors stay strong.